What you want to do in the interview is basically convey, not that you're the smartest, the brightest, most capable person for this job. You really want to convey, I understand what the problems this company is having, and I want to be part of the one to give solutions and implement solutions.
So, hi, and welcome to Beyond the Paycheck. I'm Paula Christine. So, it's that time of the year where everybody starts to think about all the things that happened last year, all the things that they'd like to happen next year, and start to think, do I really like my job? Do I not like my job? Should I change jobs? And so I've asked Annie Margarita Yang to talk to us today about her book that she wrote called The 5-Day Job Search, which takes into consideration all the interview questions that you might receive and how to answer them. So welcome, Annie.
Thanks for having me on. I'm really excited to be here today.
So tell me how you got started. How did you write this book? What influenced you to write this?
What influenced me was that I was working a whole string of minimum wage jobs after high school because I never had any mentorship or guidance. Like my parents are immigrants from China, so they don't know what it's like to be here in the United States and to want to be financially successful. So I worked a whole string of minimum wage jobs. And even after I did get a college degree in communications, I was working at Domino's Pizza. And so it wasn't that golden ticket that everyone was pressuring me to believe. It didn't work out that way. And moving from Texas to Boston, I was like, I might not have an accounting degree, but I'm going to start applying for accounting jobs because I'm really good with money in my personal life. I manage all of our household finances on a really tight budget, always saved between 25 to 50% of our income, even on minimum wage. So if I can do it for myself.
Wait, say that again?
I could save 25 to 50% of our income on minimum wage.
That's impressive.
Yeah. So if I can do that and make our dollar stretch and look at every penny, I don't let anyone rip me off on a minimum wage, can I do that for a business? So I applied to 50 accounting jobs a day, and at the end of 7 days, I got an offer. In my second job search, I took it down to 6 days, and then in my third job, I got an offer in only 5 days. So that became the inspiration for the 5-day job search. I think I cracked the code here.
Do you, so I know when I was reading in your bio that you work with a lot of millennials, but do you think that the book would also help, because I'm quite a bit older than you, and I have run into quite a few people recently who have lost their jobs. They say it's not for age, but we kind of think that way. Will it help them also?
It helps everyone, but when you make a product or a service or make videos online for people, they always say you shouldn't make your audience everyone. Otherwise, you speak to no one and no one can relate. So you have to pick a niche. And then, so the one I picked was for millennials because I myself am at the lower end of the millennial.
Okay. Yeah, I've thought about sending this book to them because they're looking and it's very difficult because of their age to find a position.
Well, if you'd like, I'd be happy to mail you the copy and you can pass it on to them.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay. Well, just tell me how the system works.
So the way this works is I have people write a highly targeted resume. What we can do is we can research the job listing that they want and then have ChatGPT analyze the job listing, ask ChatGPT, what is the employer looking for in their ideal candidate and how can I present myself as that ideal candidate? So we're not looking to lie on the resume, but what we're really trying to do is speak the employer's language, really speak to their desires rather than saying, hey, look how smart I am, look how much experience I have. They don't care about that.
Well, I think when anybody does their resume, it's hard to promote yourself. People have a really hard time talking about themselves anyway. And then using the correct terminology has to be a huge help.
Yeah. So we're basically taking the keywords directly from the employer's mouth, right? And repeating it back to them, basically communicating, we understand what you're looking for and we're the ones. So we can also use ChatGPT to write your resume. Now, I don't use it to write it from scratch. What I do is I help people write the resume from scratch. I ask the right questions based on the analysis and only if, but honest, we have to be honest, right? Only if they actually have experience or skills in that specific thing, then we include that in the resume. If not, then we don't, try to lie our way through. Then I pop that into ChatGPT, ask them to polish it up, make it sound amazing. Like, not just like organize the team, but like, I don't know, manage something,
Yeah, no, I know.
Those verbs that just make you look
awesome.
like you're some sort of superstar, have ChatGPT do that, and then sprinkle those keywords in there as well based on the analysis, right? That is a starting point, but you should also update your LinkedIn profile. That's too much for 15 minutes. But basically, after this whole thing, you want to apply to 50 jobs and a day, okay? That's a day. Yeah, that's the thing.
Well, where
a
do you
day,
find-
not
where
a
do you
total
f-
50. It's
But
per
where
day.
do you find 50 jobs?
So
Where would you?
This is
That's
the
hard.
easy part. No.
No,
This is the easy part. This is the easy part, okay? All right. Because you only have to write one resume. You're not writing 5 resumes. This is
Right.
one highly targeted resume. We're not writing a brand new one for each employer. All right. So you can go on Indeed.com, ZipRecruiter.com, LinkedIn.com, like all of these job board sites that allow you to upload your targeted resume. And there's this button. It's called the Easy Apply button. Literally, I don't think you need to even read the listing. If it has a title that you want, like let's say you're going after a hotel manager position, come on. A hotel manager for the Ritz-Carlton is the same thing as what a hotel manager does for the Hilton, okay?
Right.
What's the difference, versus Roadway Inn? It's hotel manager, all right? So, forget about reading the listing because so many people get hung up like, oh, I'm not qualified. I meet only 5 of the 10 requirements, and then they don't even throw their hat in the ring.
Correct. Yeah.
That's the difference.
Self-confidence. Yes.
That's the difference. All right. That's the difference between me and someone else. I'll throw my hat in the ring and I'll see how it turns out. So I don't read it. I just click the Easy Apply button. It takes only 1 minute and you can apply to 50 a day because at a rate of 1 minute, you can have a 1-hour job search per day.
Wow. I didn't know you could do that.
You can.
That's pretty cool. That'll save a lot of time.
Yeah.
Okay. So after you do that, what do you do?
After you
Just
do
sit
that,
back and wait?
No, yeah. That's basically what you do. You have to do that every day, right? And then as the phone calls come in, the emails come in asking you for the interview, then it's only at that point that you start researching those companies. So many people, they start researching a company before they apply. I only spend time on the people who are interested in me. If they're not interested in me, why would I waste my time researching them? That's a waste of my
Because
time.
I think sometimes people think they're being productive when they're doing busy work.
Yeah, that is just busy work. What you should really be doing is applying. That's really what you should be doing.
Apply. Huh.
Apply. And then once you get the interviews, then you do your research. You go all out on the research, though. You go crazy, almost like crazy ex-boyfriend stalker mode. Try to find out everything.
Is that term in the book, crazy ex-stalker mode?
No.
It should be.
I'm glad you're liking
funny.
it.
That's funny. Okay, so now I'm crazy ex-stalking the company. What kind of information am I looking for?
You look for all kinds, especially if it's a small business. You don't find much. That's why you gotta do that crazy ex-boyfriend stalking. so even like one of the things like I like to do is like I like to read literally every page on their website. If it's got 20 pages, you gotta read all 20 pages. You can't just quickly skim the home page and the about page for 5 minutes. I really do a in-depth research. On their site, they should have buttons linking to all of their social media. So look at all of their social media as well. Look up their company on LinkedIn. Even if they don't have a company brand page, if they have employees working for them, there are employees that list that company that they're working for. So they do still show up in the results. You can see who works there as well. Who are your future coworkers? And then you can stalk those people from LinkedIn by searching them on Facebook or Instagram and stuff like that.
Well, not only, but I would think too that you may find someone you know.
Maybe you might find someone you know. Even if not, you might find someone in there who has a common interest as you that you can just somehow sneak into the conversation in the interview of, what do you guys like, because you're basically, when you go to the interview, you're already qualified. This is more about seeing if you're a good fit personality-wise. Will you mesh with the rest of the team? A lot of small businesses, especially, they like to say we're family. We're not, but they like to say that. So you really do want to get your get to know your coworkers at least on a little bit more of a personal basis. So you can start that in the interview phase as well.
Now, let's say that you do go through an interview. Now, I'm, again, a lot older than you. So when I went to an interview, we would write a thank you note. And, if we didn't hear anything, we would follow up in a couple days or something. Is that still what you do? Do people still send a handwritten thank you note after they've been interviewed?
No, I think the email would suffice because a lot of people, they work remote these days.
Mm-hmm.
So, even like for remote job interviews, you don't have their address, and you can't guarantee it will go to the right person either.
Okay. So we stalk. Wait, we update our resume. Then we put out 50 resumes a day, and then we stalk. And now what do we do?
Yeah. Well, you do the interview, right? So another thing you should do is you should arrive an hour early because you want to make sure you get there on time. So what I like to do is I like to actually arrive an hour early, and I'll stay at a library or a cafe, and then I'll time it so that once I start walking there, I'll get there exactly 15 minutes early. Because, I think it's important so that you're not freaking out. I think it's important to be in the right state of mind and basically be able to relax and take a deep breath.
Yeah, there's nothing being worse than being rushed. So like you can never control traffic. And so if you get there and you're relaxed and you're walking in confidently.
That's right. And then when you walk in, based on all the research you have, right, you should actually go there with all of your notes as well, based on your research. Like, hey, I noticed that you actually have really bad reviews on Google from your customers. Why is that? Or like, I noticed that you haven't posted it on your Instagram for well over 2 years. Do you guys even have a marketing strategy put in place? So even if it's not related to the job that you're applying for, like you're not looking to work in marketing, it's good to understand exactly what the company is trying to achieve and how you fit in to that overall plan, right? Because what you want to do in the interview is basically convey not that you're the smartest, the brightest, most capable person for this job. You really want to convey, I understand what the problems this company is having, and I want to be part of the one to give solutions and implement solutions. But unless you really understand the problems, how can you give solutions?
Interesting. I mean, I just think back to when I had to look for a job, and I haven't had to do that in 25 years. So it was totally, totally different. I mean, because we didn't have, you weren't Google searching companies. There really wasn't a ton of that makes me sound really old, doesn't it? So, I'm just going to stop there. But it really has changed. Looking for a job really has changed.
Yeah.
A lot.
It has, definitely.
So I wonder if that's when I think about some of the people that I've known that have recently lost their jobs due to age, is that they're really not used to doing all of those things. They think back to, just having to get a nice resume and a cover letter. I don't think you do a cover letter anymore. And looking for jobs online where you used to be able to just mail it and walk in, and now it's totally different.
Yes, but I think even older people can learn how to do things. I mean, they have experience and they can use that to their advantage. I think people, when they set their minds to doing something, they can learn anything. Like, I was shocked to find out that the guy I'm helping right now is 70 years old. He really knows how to use a computer. He's got a LinkedIn profile. I tell him to click here, click there. He's a wizard, So, it's not really his age that's the barrier. He's not getting jobs because he self-sabotaged himself. He really has a passion for magic. But if he actually followed all of the advice I gave him, I think he would be successful.
So you work with clients one-on-one too?
I try not to, because what I really want to do is I really want to sell copies of the 5-day job search. I think I want to help people on a large scale. And the only way to do that is to give out the information on a massive scale. I want to help more people, not help one person with high quality help, right? What I'm doing is I'm creating a show. So basically, people who do come to me for help one-on-one, I say, well, the criteria is that I have to be able to record the whole thing, and it can be made public if I wanted to, because then I can take out the best parts of the coaching sessions and turn them into like a 1-hour episode, and people can just watch the process, from start to finish on what it's like to have a 5-day job search.
So have you ever thought about doing online courses? Because that seems to be the big thing today.
I do. I will eventually have online courses, but as of right now, I'm focusing on growing on TikTok.
On your book.
No, on TikTok, because that's where all the kids are these days.
Yeah, true. You're right. That's where they are. Okay, so where can someone purchase your book?
The best way is to go on www.annieyangfinancial.com. That's where I'm selling personally signed copies for a limited time only. Okay. I think personally signed copies have a special touch that would encourage someone to actually want to read the book. And for the audiobook is actually free. 5 hours long, narrated by me personally as well. And you can get the free audiobook also on annieyangfinancial.com. On the top of the webpage, you can click on the audiobook link and just put in your name, your email address, and you can download it.
Oh, that's awesome. You're not supposed to give it away for free.
Hey, it's to encourage more people to listen to it. No, the reason why I do that is because people these days, they don't have time to read. And I just want to encourage people to get the book, right? It's free instead of $20, But the thing is, when they read it, listen to it. It's like 49 chapters long. So it's like, oh my gosh, 49 chapters long. And the thing is, I put in so much information. The way this works is you want to listen to it, implement, listen, implement, listen, implement. Because if you don't implement, you won't have success. And the goal is you realize this is so comprehensive, I actually need to buy the physical book so that I can reference it other than, listening to 5 hours all over again. So that's why.
Yeah, no, I could, on that type of book, I could never listen to it in audio because I am like that. If I get the idea, then I have to put the book down and then go implement. But if I want to go back, I want to have the actual book to reread, and audio just doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
Plus, there's something about turning the pages.
Yeah.
I just love to turn the pages of the book.
Yeah.
So
I feel like I just don't retain as much information with audiobooks,
Yeah, I don't. Or actually, it's bad for me. I don't retain on video that much either. Because I get distracted. Like I'm like a squirrel, something goes by and I'm like, oh, so for me, I physically have to have something and be able to read it. It has been such a pleasure talking with you. I'm excited. I'm going to actually purchase a copy of the book for my friends. I don't need you to send it to me for free.
Oh, okay.
And then, because I would like them to have the opportunity to, I know they're a little bit older, but they can always start a new career and go forward.
Oh, thank you so much for that.
You're welcome. It really, truly was a pleasure getting to know you.
You too.
Okay. Take care.
Take care.